Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NDA podcast. This is episode 18. I'm joined with Kevin, and unfortunately, Wex could not be here this time. But nonetheless, the podcast must go on, and here we are to talk about the semifinal matches that have happened recently in the past week for the NDA, and go into the final and talk about the matchup there and how we think it's going to end up. Who the winner of the NDA is going to be. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But first, Kevin, we have to go over these semifinal matches. And what better way to start than with your match? So I'll let you take the floor with this one. How do you look, just take us through it. How'd it go?
Well, personally, been all right. Okay. I mean, I guess not spoilers, but not spoilers. We came away with the victory, but was it completely deserved?
Debatable.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we certainly
There were some things that maybe weren't optimal, as some people might say. So
yeah, we certainly take those at the same time though. Game 1 was a 4-0 Will whitewash. I was just not ready for Beware and Scrafty. Like, who preps for that lead? Not me. Clearly. I wanted to go Trick Room against his pretty fast team. So I went Marowak and Gothitelle, and then Scrafty Beware he faked out my Trick Room. Got a max Knuckle into Marowak. Got an attack boost for both of his mons. I max Quaked. It didn't do anything. It did a decent bit. It did like 40-45%, but I get a special defense boost, which means nothing because both of those mons are physical. And then +1 crunch takes Gothitelle before I can click Trick Room, and he had Ice Punch, or I guess Dundee, and Marowak, and +1 max ice took out Marowak, and from there they just swept. It was kind of bad for me. Even some information about my team was leaked and was not caught on, thankfully, in Game 1. So that
safety
was
goggles.
Yeah, that was
goggles.
Yeah, did not get hit by the hail. Will did not realize it. And I think he was worried about Assault Vest Lapras again. He said that afterwards, and in Game 1, I showed that I was Citrus Berry, and he was like when I said that afterwards, he was like, oh, and they were like, yeah, you saw that, and he was like, oh, shit. So Will was not very observant in Game 1, but he caught a fat dub.
If he was more observant, then it wouldn't be a happy tune coming out of your mouth. It would just be more of a very somber, very sad, melancholy stuff coming out of you. But
Game 2,
you were able to turn it around.
Yeah, we adjusted very well. Game 2, I had nothing to hit Beware. Truthfully, my Thunderous was not physical. I did not have Fly. I was Prankster with one attacking move this week. All I had was Gothitelle, and Gothitelle only had one attacking move as well, but thankfully it was Psychic, and I was able to, on turn 1, he led Whimsicott this time instead of the Scrafty, and forget what he clicked turn 1 with Whimsicott, if I'm honest. I don't remember.
I think it might have been, was it Helping Hand? It might have been Helping Hand.
I don't remember.
Back. I'll see.
Okay, yeah, let me know, because I don't think it did that much.
He clicked Tailwind.
He clicked Tailwind?
Tailwind. Yeah, he did.
Okay. I didn't think it was Tailwind, but I guess it was, because the next turn was Helping Hand. So I was able to just double the Beware with a Max Psychic and a Behemoth Bash, doing pretty good damage. I put it in range of one more Max Mindstorm in terrain, even though he was Assault Vest, which was pretty good. And I was able to live he was obviously both faster than me with Tailwind, and he was able to. He went for a Helping Hand and a Max Knuckle into Zom, and I was able to live, thankfully. And I don't think the live mattered that much. I was able to get rid of the Where anyway, and I think Zom just died next turn because of Tailwind to a Heat Wave anyway. But I just adjusted well with Goth, and I maxed it, even though I was max investment on HP and defenses, no special attack at all. And it just did enough. I was very thankful for that. And both Mons go down to a Heat Wave, I think, next turn, and then
after the max is over, yeah.
Yeah, and then I send out Thundy and Marowak. Whimsicott's at 1 health, and then it's next to the Volcarona. Combined Marowak lives. I don't remember what I think it might have.
But you're above 50. You're
Yeah, I
above
was
50.
chilling.
Yeah, you
And
hit
a
a
rock
rock
slide took
slide.
them both out.
Yeah.
Then it was just I had Marowak and Thundy versus the Eternatus, and I was able to just re-impulse its life away and take it out finally. And I did adjustments for me, and I won game 2 pretty comfortably, somewhat. And then game 3 is where the shenanigans went down. Oh my god. I am very fortunate to be in the finals this season. I can't lie. Will, you are truly something else, my friend. So he goes back to the where I think I took like 2 minutes to decide my lead. Like I was so I thought maybe he goes Whimsicott Eternatus, or does he go back to the same the lead from game 1? Like I had no clue what he was gonna do. So kept it the same, I think. I went Goth Zom. He went Beware and Scrafty the lead from game 1. And the protect from Zom on turn 1 was very good for me. I knew he was going to fake out and probably hit into that slot. So I took like no damage at all. He did get an attack boost because he went for a Max Knuckle. But I got a crit with my Max Mindstorm into the Beware slot, which was the first bit of RNG that went in my favor. Super, super, super clutch.
Yeah, that changed the damage output from about 25%. Now you just did over 50. Right. That's a huge difference when we're talking about max mon health. Huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. And then next turn, I believe I went for the Play Rough. Because of the Intimidate from the Scrafty, I actually didn't. I was convinced that thing was dead from the Play Rough, and it lived. And then I believe he was able to kill me.
Well, you dropped his attack. You dropped his attack on the Scrafty.
Oh yeah. So I hit the Play Rough, and then I got the attack drop, the 10% attack drop, which was huge because he doubled into Max Gothitelle, and Gothitelle.
Oh yeah, it mattered. It definitely mattered.
For sure.
You're living on about 21%.
Yeah, super huge.
That mattered.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not like. Actually, no. I don't know if it does. One attack boost, does that take you to the point where you're able to take out the Gothitelle? I'm not sure. But all I know is it's super unfortunate that Will had to suffer through that. That's all I know. Either way, it's just rough to see.
For sure. And then, so I had both Mons still. Then I think I guarded with Goth, and then I killed the Beware. Or no, I killed the Scrafty and I let the Beware live, which was questioned why I did that afterwards. But
yeah, because it did a shit ton into Zom.
Yeah. Zom was still alive. I took out the Scrafty. Had both Mons still on the field. I believe.
And here's where the RNG starts to tick up. Like in a very, very bad way for Will. Because here comes the first Heat Wave miss onto the Goth.
But that didn't matter because is that when I switched? Zom or did I protect?
No, you protect it with Zom, and I think you switched the next turn. But I know he missed the first heat wave that he tried to use. It didn't matter because Beware was faster, and he was able to take out the Gothitelle anyway. But it was more like a bad sign of things to come.
All right, so he missed the Goth. Then the Ice Punch hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so then I die. Goth. Then
Yes.
okay, what happens next? Run me through it. I forget already.
So then you switched out the Zom, and then you took out Beware. And that's when Volcarona went for a heat wave. And this did over 50%.
Oh, okay. What I Thunderbolt it?
You Thunderbolted the Beware.
Beware.
And then Volcarona heat waved and did over 50% to both Mons. Now,
I thought it was choice
we...
specs, dude. I deadass thought it was choice specs. I thought like he was stuck into it. That's why.
Well, if he was, then you're screwed.
That's why I was hoping for heat wave misses. I thought he was specs and he couldn't like rage powder or anything. I just thought I was screwed. I'd only seen him click heat wave, I think, like in any game. So I swore he was specs.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, oh shit! It just did 50% to both my Mons. I just have to pray for a heat wave miss. So I impulsed the Eternatus and went for Rock Slide, right?
No, so what happened was, so the heat wave did over 50, and this is where we look back to game 1, where Will missed the fact that you were goggles on the Thunderous.
Indeed.
And I'm pretty sure he saw Eerie Impulse last game. Yeah, he saw the Eerie Impulse last game, and he wanted to take that away from hitting Eternatus. Now, here's my question. Why would you do that when you know you're faster than Marowak, and that you'll be able to take out Marowak regardless as long as you double into it with a Heat Wave and then a Dynamax Cannon? So if you're that afraid of him hitting into Eternatus, like, you might as well just do damage and then hit into Marowak. That would have been my thought process, because at that point I'm just thinking, as long as I'm not getting hit by a Rock Slide, there's really not much he can do, because Zamazenta really can't take me out in one shot. At least he can't take out both in one shot, and neither can the Thunderous. So I'd feel much safer in the game without the Marowak, who has the super effective ground type moves, who has the Rock Slide that can basically one-shot Volcarona. So I don't really know why he clicked that, for not only because it's goggles, or you should know, but because I just feel like Heat Wave is the much better play. But he didn't. Which is a very sad moment.
Very fortunate.
Yeah. And then the Dynamax Cannon only just chips down the Thunderous a little bit, but he does get lucky in his own respect. You miss a Rock Slide on the Volcarona, which is huge. Gives him another chance, essentially.
Yeah, and then it was wasted by a Fire Blast miss.
Yeah, that Fire Blast miss. No. This was another Heat Wave. This is a Heat Wave miss and a Dynamax Cannon into Marowak. The next turn was a Fire Blast miss.
He missed a Heat Wave and a Fire Blast into Marowak?
He missed he didn't miss the Heat Wave into Marowak. He missed the Fire Blast into Marowak, but the Marowak protected on the Heat Wave that could have hit him.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. But yeah,
it was just a whole lot of RNG, man, and I was just fortunate that Marowak was able to get rid of Volk because of a Fire Blast missed, and then, I had set up the Scary Face, so Zom in the back could take out Eternatus, but I was fortunate where I didn't have to do that because I just hindered it down so much. But honestly, RNG, I missed a Rock Slide, which would have been huge, but like RNG before that and during that whole scenario was just in my favor, and it's just I don't know. I'm happy I won. Glad. I feel like I adjusted well, and that was props to me. myself in the scenario to win that game, but like at the end of the day, RNG just stinks, man. Like Will probably should be in the finals. So just gotta win the finals now. I gotta prove that I deserve to be here. But
So the only
kudos to
question
Will,
is
man.
now. The only question is now, who will you be facing in the final? Will it be Wex
Ooh.
or will it be Ryder? And it turns out, on the other side of the bracket during the semifinal match, we found out in 2 games, not 3, 2 games, it will be Ryder. Ryder actually beat Wex. And I can say firsthand, I was not expecting Ryder to win. Me and him might have played over 30 like prep battles just to try and get him like ready with his lead, and even then we were not confident because Clefable Yveltal was just doing so much work. It was so hard to do more than 50% to Clefable. There really wasn't much there to be able to do that. And Yveltal, whether it was in the front or he was able to save it for the back, was just doing so much damage and just was almost unkillable. It was super disheartening given how much time we spent into it. But looking back at the game, I mean, he played it like a classic Ryder game. I mean, it was just every move was his best move essentially, and in my opinion, and he just outplayed Wex fair and square. I mean, there's really nothing much else to it.
I mean,
It's
got
just-
some RNG. I mean, certain things.
Oh, I
really
mean, it is in classic Ryder fashion, right? He does get a little bit of RNG,
You got
but we can't all just sit
burn.
here and say we don't also benefit from that.
you got a 10% burn on the flamethrower that hindered Metagross's weakness policy, and then even with the burn and the weakness policy boost, Wex was able to do big damage to I think the Celesteela or something, and it lived on like 2, and it was just like at that point you just like Wex was so tilted, and then game 2 he forgot.
Oh no,
to click
actually no, because
Mac.
the Metagross Iron headed into the Comfey, and Comfey lived because of Babiri. So essentially it was neutral, and then it took it down to like 20% ish, and then he was able to heal up on the Celesteela that same turn. So when he was Dark Pulsed by Yveltal, he was able to live on 1, which is
so
nutty.
with the weakness policy boost, that 20% that Comfey lived on, it dies. So like that burn is just. It's just killer. It's killer.
It was crucial.
10%.
I mean,
burn.
at that point, it wasn't as big because, you know, you would have been able to be faster than the Metagross at that point and probably force a protect, and you had something in the back that would probably be able to take it out pretty nicely. So at that point, it's not the worst case in the world if he does or does not get it, but it's definitely beneficial that he got it because it just took it off the field and he doesn't have to worry about that scenario. So that's always a big plus.
For sure. And then next game, Wex was just like tilted, didn't max. Riders, he adjusted to bring out the Fletchender, which would have been really good. He had he was always gonna max Darkness into something, set up Tailwind, and then next turn Heat Wave or Sunny Day, and then use Yveltal that way, or Sunny Day, and then I forget what he was gonna do. But after a Spadef drop and Suns was up, I'm pretty sure Max Flare took out Celesteela, but Ryder just went Giratina, and Wex didn't max, forgot the max. It redirected all hits, and it took no damage, and Giratina was just able to. I think 3 turns in a row, he just clicked Calm Mind, and it was GG's.
Yeah, that was best case scenario. We were trying to EV the Togetic to almost always live from Yveltal hitting it with 2 Airstreams. That way, if it's a 3-hit KO, then he's able to get off 3 Airstreams without taking any other excessive damage from another mon like Clefable. So yeah, I think the strategy that I was using against him was Clefable Yveltal against the Togetic and Giratina, and what I was doing was max Darknessing into the Giratina slot with Helping Hand to try and force the follow me from Togetic, And then after that, I was able to max Airstream into Togetic because that would have lowered his special defense and lower his health enough to where that, with a helping hand, actually no, without a helping hand, would take it out. And I could click like a light screen or follow me to try and mitigate the Calm Mind damage. So, I mean, if Wex had played it like that, then he would have been smooth sailing. Like, it would have been a much easier time. But instead, he led Fletchender. And I'm sure when Ryder saw that, he was just salivating out the mouth. He was just ready to click Calm Mind a few turns in a row and then just sweep, click buttons.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure that was the
Wex had nothing.
like a beautiful thing.
Wex had nothing to hit Togetic, and then especially when he didn't max and get the special defense drops, that could have been kind of clutch. It just, I mean, if he maxed and got the special defense drops, I think he maybe takes out Togetic after. I don't know. It's just unfortunate that he RNG game 1 and then the tilt for misclick and not click Dynamax game 2. It's just, it wasn't a good day for Wex. He was very upset about it. I feel his pain. I do. It would have been fun to play Wex in the finals. I would have, sorry Wex, much rather played you in the finals because I think I have a better matchup against your team. And I don't know what Ryder's gonna do. But I guess we'll talk about that in a couple seconds. But Fort Wex, we feel your pain, buddy. Been there before. It's just Wex had a great season too, and he was very wish he was here to talk about it with us. But
yeah, no, I mean, he had a great season. I mean, he finished 7-3 with 19 points, and only finished third instead of second because of differential on sets.
yeah,
That's it. I mean, he played very, very well. And yeah, it's unfortunate he couldn't get the win, but to be fair, he's going against playoff Ryder. That's someone you just can't sleep on. He has his ways. He knows what he needs to do. He's always aware of the win condition, and he seemingly always knows what you're gonna do. So it's tough to see my buddy go out like that, but I would be lying if I said I couldn't relate, because I can relate 2 playoffs in a row. So it's more of a join the club type of moment than a feel bad for Wexy. But yeah, so that gives us our final of Kev versus Ryder. Very, very cool stuff there. I feel like there's a good amount of history there.
for sure, that's my buddy.
Yeah, and definitely like arguably the top 2 players in the league. Actually, no. I would say inarguably, because you can't count Ryder out. I feel like he had a rough go at it this season, but the Togedemaru pickup really just elevated his team to another level. And then, I mean,
like one mon like that, just.
I mean, it doesn't allow for Celesteela to get hit with. I mean, because of lightning.
It kills
rod.
me, man. It kills me. I beat Ryder last time just maxing Thundee and clicking electric moves. And I'm so sad that I can't do that now. I'm so
Yeah,
sad.
now you gotta think of something else. I mean, we
gotta
definitely maybe
big
have thought of
brain.
something, but maybe we haven't. Maybe we have though. But yeah, so let's talk about this matchup here. I mean, I know you probably won't say too much, but I can definitely speak on what I think Ryder might do. So just taking a look at what he usually brings. I mean, to be honest, I don't expect him to deviate from the 6 that he brought against Wex. If he does, I'm not sure if he brings anything different, because
he
like,
has
I don't know
best.
if he does that.
Like he definitely has a best team, and what he could bring, like, is it bad that I'm not worried? I don't know. It'll catch. Like, I feel like I gotta prep for everything, especially after Will's match. Like, who I didn't prep for fucking Grafty Beware, and it almost cost me. So like, I feel like I have to prep for everything, but at the same time, Ryder has a best 6 in my opinion, and I feel like I'm gonna see it. Like I feel like he's gonna make me just beat his best stuff that's been working very well for him.
Yeah.
So
The only one mon that I could see him bringing and having some success with is maybe Magnezone, because he can hit into Lapras pretty hard and hit Moltres super effective, and I mean, yeah, like Avalug, but I mean, what real coverage are you getting there? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he brings Magnezone. If I was a betting man, though, I would say definitely top 6 of Celesteela, Incineroar, Comfey, Giratina, Togetic, and Togedemaru. I think those are pretty solid locks from Ryder. I don't want to say anything about what Kevin's bringing because I already know what he wants to bring, so I can't speak on that personally. But I think you can expect some Pokemon to come.
Some big things. Yeah, definitely some I'll definitely
Yeah.
6 Pokemon there that are that are on my team sheet. No surprises.
I think the only thing I can release is that they will be level 50.
True.
I think that's fair to say. I don't think that's a bit of a spoiler there.
I mean, I'm sure Wex will put the matchup on here when he edits it. Like, you guys can see what maybe has a good matchup, what doesn't. I'd love to go into it, but it is the finals we're talking about here. It's only me and Justin here, and we obviously know what I'm doing, so it's hard. But
yeah, which is why we really miss Wex this week.
Yeah.
we would wish he was here with us because
to be fair,
then he
Wex
could give us an
probably
outsider
know what
opinion.
I'm doing too, but
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe if like Will was here, he could talk about like our game and the matchup from an outside perspective. That would have been cool, but we're just trying to, get this out. Haven't posted in a while. I've had a little delay for the championship, so just trying to let's build up the hype. I mean, it's gonna be we're gonna have a repeat champion. Me and Ryder are good buddies. Been here since obviously this is Ryder's league. He started it. I've developed into an admin as I've went along. I joined season 1, mid-season. I took over. We've had a lot of battles together. I think I've played him every season.
What's the overall head-to-head there?
That's a great question. I beat him. I beat him every time except the time he knocked me out of the playoffs. That was the only time he beat me. When he played you in the championship, he knocked me out in the semis, season 2.
Right, that was a really close match, though. That was a really close match.
That was insanely close. And I think I won game 1. He adjusted and won both game 2 and 3. But
I thought it was like something with like Dusknoir and you won game 2. Like you snuck it out.
Maybe. I don't remember. I feel like, I don't know. For some reason, Ryder adjusting and winning games 2 and 3 is sitting in my head. But maybe that's just because Ryder tends to do that a decent bit. I think, if I could be wrong, even beat Ryder in singles when we played last time. So I do have the history against Ryder, maybe in my favor, but I'm not using that at all. Not even a little bit. I'm still absolutely terrified. I have one match with Ryder in the playoffs, and we know how. And I just told you how that went. So that's what I'm basing my fear off of. It should be a good one. Ryder has a great team. He's got the bulkiest of boys on that squad, and even his non-bulky things have access to like Eviolite and Sturdy, and obviously a Focus Sash. So, his team is just so hard to get rid of, and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah, I think if we had to do like keys to the game for Ryder, I think it's just gonna be how are you gonna deal with the excessive amount of Defiant and competitive, because you know what Kevin usually typically brings. He brings at least one of those types of mons. So when you're building your team, do you keep that in mind? Do you keep that in mind when you're thinking about moves on Pokemon you're going to max? Do you have that in the back of your head? Do you bring Intimidate? Do you bring these types of things? I feel like that's definitely something you got to keep in mind. And then something you got to keep in mind if you're Kevin is how the hell can I get rid of Comfey as fast as possible? I think that's something that you really have to look forward to and have to prepare for, because if you can't kill Comfey, that means you can't kill what's next to it. And if you can't kill what's next to it, it's doing damage and it's killing you instead. So it's something you really have to be wary about. And then obviously you can't sleep on the Celesteela that's been going absolutely ham these past few weeks. So you just got to keep all of that in mind, and hopefully at the end of the day, we can crown a winner. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. I mean, we've been prepping a little bit. I don't know if you're gonna win this one. It is playoff Ryder we're talking about here. This is no joke. This is no run of the mill scrub. Okay, this isn't some seed 56 that you gotta play. This isn't some wild card from like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't some loser from Loser Town. This isn't some, guy off the street. This isn't some Patriots white wide receiver. This isn't some, Lakers bench player. This is Ryder we're talking about. This is a good battler, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. But if I had to make a prediction, if I had to jump into predictions here, I will say Kevin wins 2-1. Unfortunately, I'll have to hear about it for a little bit, but I do believe that he has what it takes.
I'm not a bad winner. I'm not a bad winner.
You're a little bit of a sore winner, I guess you could say. Just a little bit.
I'm a great winner.
Okay, well, see, okay. Yeah.
I don't boast, especially against Ryder. I mean, I'll throw it here and out, like here and there in conversation, like, hey, back to back, if I pull this off. But, honestly, if I win, I'll be very happy because it'll allow me more freedom to just fuck around in the future. I feel like if I win back to back, I don't have to put so much pressure on myself to win again. But I don't know. I'm scared.
I mean, please do, because that'll let me win. Hopefully, if I don't face Ryder, just don't make playoffs next season, and then that'll let me get on the other side of the bracket.
When you finish second in standings again, I'll make sure I finish seventh, so you can just play me in the first round.
Well, here's the thing. Let's not do that. Because here's the thing. Every time you finish first, I finish second, right?
We have done that back seasons.
If you finish like below playoffs, I'll finish first, and that means I'll be on the other side of the bracket.
I'll be 8th seed.
He'll literally strategically try to be the seed, so he has to play me first round and get all of his momentum. It's like, all right, yeah, easy 2-0, easy 2-0. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, what's your prediction for yourself?
I think I gotta do it, Justin.
Is this another 2-0?
I've done it all season.
Is this another 2-0?
It doesn't always happen 2-0. I've by a 2-1 last week, but backing myself 2-0, baby.
Oh boy,
it's gotta be done. I gotta back the boy.
I don't know. I feel like it has to be 2-1. Like, it doesn't make sense if it's 2-0. It has to be 2-1 somebody. I'm betting on you, but
does it have
no,
to?
I feel like it's probably going to be a 2-1. It's just like it's because it's a tight matchup. Like, it's not a walk in a park. It's, I bring this lead, he brings this lead, but he has this item, therefore it mitigates this item, and then I lose. Like, it just comes down to that. Like, it's not gonna come down to like best move available and just click buttons, right? It's gonna be all mind games. Who's gonna win the mind game? And Ryder knows his best moves, and I mean, your best moves. So it's like, then it's like, all right, well, I know my best moves, and I know his best move, and I know he knows what my best move is, so I'm gonna do this move to counter what he thinks my best move is, and it's just gonna be like, it's gonna come down to mental gymnastics. I feel like that's what it is.
Gymnastics and VGC. I mean, it's better than like toxic stall aids and singles.
Oh yeah, shout out Eli with that 320 turn loss in the championship. I mean, my God, that's just pain.
Playing a Pokemon game for 322 turns. Imagine.
No, I think it's just 320. But at that point, does it really matter? It's 2 more turns. Like, that was over an hour long. Like, I looked at it like an hour after it started, and I tried to look at league results, and there was nothing posted. I looked for match spoilers, there's nothing posted. I looked at the live battle, I was like, there's no way. It's on turn 207. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at here? What the actual hell is this? I've never seen a match go on for that long. And that just bolsters my opinion on why I think singles can be absolute hot garbage and doubles is better.
Yeah, expect some big brain mental plays and probably some RNG in a very heated rivalry in the finals. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Good luck, Ryder, mate. I'm excited and terrified.
Well, with that being said, I think it's time to wrap up the very last episode of season 4 of the NDA. This has been episode 18 of the NDA podcast. I want to thank you all for listening throughout this entire season. Without you guys listening, there would be no podcast, there would be no league, there would be no nothing. So we appreciate all you guys for tuning in and again, hearing our shitty opinions. I'm sure there's been a few times where you're like, no, this guy's fucking stupid. He's chatting shit. There's no way I'm listening to him. But for those of you that stuck around and don't bully me, I appreciate you. So
Stay
thank you
tuned
guys
for
so much.
stay tuned for some off-season and maybe just some fun podcasts and episodes. Who knows what we're gonna post on here now that season will be over. I mean, I guess we'll post a recap of a short recap of the championship, and then maybe some off-season and maybe some fun videos. Who knows? Stay tuned for that, and that's it for me. Peace out, guys. Justin, if you want to sign off the rest of the video. Peace.
Yep. So this has been the 18th episode of the NDA podcast. I've actually kept track. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys hopefully very soon. Peace out and take care.